Hey guys, welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast, your daily free guide for inner child healing. This podcast helps you establish a consistent reparenting routine and is divided into 3 sections. The first is a daily reading, the second is a discussion of that reading followed by suggested journal prompts, and the last section is a peaceful meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us. I'm so glad that you can join us for this journey of healing, self-expansion, and growth. If this is your first time, welcome. Now, before we dive in, I'd like to remind us that we've passed the 500 marker of Reparenting Daily. As a celebration of that, I've opened the Patreon community for free membership so that you can join our Zoom calls for free. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and many people are struggling. And so my hope with this is to encourage others to take up the serious work of reparenting on themselves and to offer and provide a free community where people can do that. I'd also like to personally thank all of you who have been along for the journey so far. Just as a reminder, this is a free podcast, but I do sell the Reparenting Daily Journal where you can follow us along with all the monthly and weekly themes, and where you can also join us in our free Zoom calls to reflect on the weekly themes as we make our way through the year. This is something that I've opened up for free, but you can purchase the journal if you'd like to support the podcast. You can also just copy the themes within your own journal and follow us along there. If you'd like to support us in other ways, you can also join the Patreon with a paid subscription or also donate on Buy Me a Coffee. Just as a reminder, I've created another resource called Fairy Tales for Reparenting. This is a 3-volume series that organizes fairy tales from around the world into the 3 phases of the hero's journey, from beginning, middle, to end. Now, these are fairy tales that come from Grimm's fairy tales and other traditions and other cultures around the world. And while you might think that fairy tales are for kids, actually, these stories contain profound truths and lessons that we can use in our reparenting journey. So these books are a very simple and creative way to connect to your inner child. I'd like to send a very warm thank you to Maria, who has been helping me to edit the books since I had some difficulties in the fall and I've had some issues with my eyes. So now the first 2 volumes are available on Amazon in ebook or regular book format, so you can check those out, and we'll be working on that last volume to release to you as soon as possible. But again, these stories are ways to connect with lessons that are shared across different cultures, to reconnect with your inner child, and to really teach yourself some lessons that have been carried down for centuries and millennia. As we're passing episode 550, I'd like to also turn your attention to the fact that I've changed the meditation at the end of the podcast, and so you can check that out now for a new experience of binaural beats. So this helps with binaural stimulation from the left to right ear, a bit like a replication of the EMDR experience. So I'm hoping that this can help bring you guys some relief, and we'll have other meditations coming soon as we progress with the rest of the year. So with these announcements now out of the way, let's dive into today's practice. Today's reading is an article from Headspace entitled, "There Will Always Be More, Overcoming Scarcity Mindset." Just as a reminder, we're in November, and the theme is gratitude and abundance. We're in week 2, which has been November 8th until the 14th, and we're in the last day of this week. And the theme for the week has been shifting from scarcity to abundance. There will always be more. Overcoming scarcity mindset. New beginnings, such as the beginning of a new year, can sometimes bring up feelings of regret over wishing that you could have accomplished a certain goal or life milestone by now. From those that I coach, I often hear things around this time of the year like, "I'm the only one out of my friend who's still single. I should have gotten a promotion or raise by now. I have no money. I'm stuck living paycheck to paycheck." These statements are great examples of what's called a scarcity mindset. It's a common source of stress for many people. Scarcity mindset can be defined as a pattern of thinking that focuses on what you don't have and the underlying belief that you're not ever going to have the things that you want, even when you have access to your basic needs, things like food, water, housing, income, etc. Whereas scarcity itself is typically defined as not having some or all of the things that are necessary for survival, this definition isn't meant to diminish the real stress and anguish that can be caused by scarcity mindset. In fact, it highlights how impactful this mindset can be. Scarcity mindset isn't new. It's been a facet of the human experience for as long as wealth, poverty, and materialism. Today, we can see it play out on social media, in lifestyle blogs, reality TV commercials, and so on. It often looks and feels like a mask that people can drive people to spend a lot of energy trying to appear or act the right way. I've seen this show up in trying to keep up with other people's spending habits, rather than spending within your own means, or in thinking that there is one way to be a good parent or a good friend, and then internally beating yourself up for all the ways you fall short of these ideals. By identifying this experience as a mindset as opposed to how things are, you can begin to move away from a discouraging and exhausting thought process and towards one that is empowering and motivating for you, such as the abundance mindset. Enter abundance mindset. Having an abundance mindset means not feeling limited by the things you don't have, but instead focusing on the opportunities you do have in order to gain what you want in life. Whether it's a long-term romantic relationship, financial security, moving up the career ladder, or any personal or professional goal, your mindset plays a significant role in how well you do in achieving your goals. A very common area that people tend to feed their scarcity mindset is not believing or trusting that they are able to gain the skills or resources that they need to meet their goals. This is where leaning on your supporters and existing resources can be a game changer. Once someone is able to work and connect with someone who can hear them out non-judgmentally and reflect back to them how they may be treating themselves, like a close friend, mentor, or coach or therapist, they can start to become aware of what's standing in their way and start planning a way around it, which is how abundant thinking works. It's a mindset that helps you start from a place of assuming that you are already able to get where you'd like to go. And then you can begin to identify the steps you need to take to get there. Alternatively, a scarcity mindset is like wearing blinders and all you see is what you don't have, not the possibilities that exist for you. Having an abundance mindset can help you shift the statements you read at the beginning of this post to sound more like I am able to reach my goals through using my resources, and I can find new ones as I need them. I've been stuck for a while and am ready to learn new ways of getting unstuck. I trust that I'll figure out a plan to get me where I want to be. Developing an abundance mindset is a way to develop strength of your self-belief and self-trust. When you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, envious of others, or ready to change but unsure how, try reflecting, journaling, or talking to someone you trust to understand what you'd like to achieve and to see more clearly what's holding you back. Being able to look at your situation from a different perspective, which is how a trusted friend or coach can help, is an effective way to better understand beliefs about yourself, how beliefs about yourself can either hinder or help you achieve your life goals. Strategies for shifting to an abundance mindset. Again, I won't go into the details here. I'll just read the headings and you can check out the link in the show notes to read it in its entirety. Number 1, start your day by reflecting on the positive things around you. Number 2, practice showing appreciation for others. And number 3, look back to notice how far you've come. When you start changing your mindset from scarcity to abundance, you may notice your overall well-being and happiness increase. If you'd like support with any of the strategies here to develop an abundance mindset, reach out to a mental health coach who can help you with that. Thank you. That's the reading for today. Welcome back. Today's reading explores how scarcity thinking distorts our view of reality, making us believe that there isn't enough love, time, money, or success to go around. The article explains that this mindset often manifests as comparison. Everyone else is ahead of me. Self-blame, I should be further by now. And a fixation on what is missing instead of what's present. What's powerful about this reflection is that it reframes scarcity not as truth, but as a mindset, a habit of perception that can be unlearned. An abundance mindset begins with the opposite assumption that we already have enough within and around us to build what we desire. It shifts attention from deficit to potential, from envy to gratitude. It also highlights that abundance isn't about denying struggle, it's about trusting your ability to create, adapt, and attract what you need. Her practical tools that she suggested in the article, such as morning gratitude, appreciation for others, and reflection on how far you've come, are aspects of mental rewiring. Each exercise softens the nervous system's old survival scripts. I'm behind. I'll lose what I have, and replaces it with calm assurance. I have always found a way. Within the context of shifting from scarcity to abundance, this reading bridges mindset and self-trust. It reminds us that abundance is not just a thought pattern, it's an emotional posture. Gratitude opens us up to receive. Appreciation dissolves envy. Appreciation dissolves envy. Sorry for the tongue twister, guys. And self-reflection roots us in self-sufficiency. When you look back at how far you've already come, you realize your story. Has always included enough. From a reparenting perspective, this is deep and nervous system work. Scarcity is often inherited. It begins when a child learns that love, attention, or security must be earned or competed for. The inner child, conditioned by fear of loss or neglect, grows up scanning for danger, waiting for the rug to be pulled out. Each time you practice gratitude or reflect on your resilience, you are reparenting that child, teaching them safety, sufficiency, and trust in their own capacity to thrive. You show them that life will provide, and that they no longer have to fight for what's already theirs. As you go into the journal prompts for today, number 1, what do I most hear? When do I most often hear my scarcity voice? What does it say? And where do I feel it in my body? Number 2, how have I already proven to myself that I can adapt, survive, and create more when needed? And number 3, what daily ritual, morning gratitude, complimenting others, or reflection can I use to gently retrain my mind towards abundance? That's it for today, and as always, thanks for being here. Take care of yourself, and please do be well. Welcome back. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please go ahead and find a space where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for this 10-minute silent meditation. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you comfortable today. Take a moment to simply be with yourself. Focus on your breath and gently connect with each part of your body. If thoughts arise, don't let them overwhelm you. Just observe them without attachment. Imagine them as leaves drifting down atop a river, passing by without needing your engagement. Stay present, grounded, and open to this moment.